You just went through awful, awful weather. This is what you wore the entire training season. You had about 2 feet more snow than normal. You had cold, lots and lots of cold. The good thing about this forecast that we're going to talk about, you don't need to wear this. You'll get to wear, oh, don't worry, I'm not going to be like Jake a couple of years ago. She was getting very nervous about that there in the front row. But I thought it's always important that, when a speaker comes to talk to, they should have some credibility. So what I did is I went to my closet and I dug out the last time I ran. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Boston Marathon, oh, by the way, I think I should probably complete the ensemble. Oh, yes, there we go. There we go. How's my hair look? I'm on TV, And you always want to make sure you look good for those pictures, okay? So you're going along like this, and all of a sudden there's a smile, okay? So I actually ran the 101st and 102nd marathon, which is when they started the corral system. And I am the reason they started the corral system. You see, the Kenyans were really nervous about me that year. So they said, how about if we keep Wankum in a corral by himself a little bit and give him a little head start? And since then, they've done it ever since then. But the Boston Marathon is known for some interesting weather. Just to give you an idea of what it can do, it snowed 6 times. Yep, it did. Heavy rain 3 times. In 2002, the fog was so thick, they couldn't put the helicopters in the air to cover the event. And you couldn't see the runners. And the Kenyans got way ahead of me that year. They had dust and high winds in 1903. So it's been a while since we've had that. Thankfully, that's not going to happen this year. And in 1939, one of my favorite years, they had a nor'easter going and an eclipse, both at the same time. That's about the point where you say, I think I'm not going to run this one this year. 10% of them are considered hot. Does anybody remember the Run for the Hoses in '76? If not, just remember a couple of years ago. Oh, that was a brutal one. Well, this year's forecast is not going to be anything like that. It's going to be actually, well, you know what? In fact, let's bring forth the sacred forecast, shall we? From high atop Mount Olympus, I call forth for the sacred forecast. Staying in a mayonnaise jar on the back porch of Funk and Wagnall's porch. Straight from Florida, I present to you the sacred, the all-important marathon forecast. I am honored to be in your presence. Straight from Florida, right? Did you fly? No, I set you up and you know again. All right, so let's find out what we got going on here for a forecast. Oh, good. Oh, it's not, don't worry, the forecast isn't in here. This is just my turkey sandwich later on. But anyhow, here on Sacred Parchment, we have the forecast for what's going to be happening that day. All right, 8 a.m. for your early risers. You head out to Hopkinton. Looks like mostly sunny skies, about 43 degrees. 10 a.m. when the elite runners take off. That'll be me. It should be warming to about 50 degrees by that point. Still pretty sunny out there. Breeze is almost non-existent at that point. Maybe light out of the southwest, 4 to 5 miles per hour. I would say dress cool, though. Dress for some cool weather. And, wear the junky clothes that you can kind of throw off and give to everybody who wants to hang them around or whatever. So dress because it is going to be cool to start out there in the morning. Plenty of water. The last time I wore this medal was actually when I was at Boston Medical Center. If you don't drink enough water, you get to go visit the hospital. My daughter is bringing it up all the time. In fact, I only have a couple of pictures. There's me going across the finish line, like this, and then there's me laying in the hospital with the IV tube and my medal around my chest. So, please hydrate. Even though it's a cool day, and that's actually what throws you off sometimes, is you don't drink enough water when it's a cool day. So drink plenty of water. Stay in your regime that you've been in. All right, you're going along. You take off, you get to Wellesley about noon, should be close to 60 degrees. It's warming up very nicely. Now this is what I call a very classic Boston Marathon forecast. In other words, you're going along, you see the Citgo signs, you go, I'm almost there. Right, okay? And then you get a little bit farther in and you go, oh, what's that refreshing breeze I'm feeling off of the ocean right now? In fact, so we can all get used to it, give me an A.
A.
Give me a B.
B.
Give me a C.
C.
C, you're going to get a sea breeze, okay? So, you've got a sea breeze that's going to come in. It does not look like a really horrible one. I mean, I've seen it where it's like 65, it drops to 40. This is not going to be one of those. This looks like a sea breeze. It's probably going to drop you back into the mid-50s. So if you were inland at the same time, you'd probably be nicely into the 60s. But you will have a little bit of a sea breeze coming there. So just be prepared for that. Also, the skies are going to slowly start to increase in cloudiness as the day goes on. So for those of you who are a little, shall we say, slower? And you're not running with me in the Kenyans. Actually, I got there like 1 minute before the clock. I think there were guys taking down the scaffolding, and they were sweeping the streets when I finally got there. So one of the things I will tell you, though, that as you are drinking your beer and pasta after the event, there is a possibility of some rain very late. So if you party like Mac till 4 a.m., you may actually run into a little bit of rain. But otherwise, I think you'll be rain-free on this one. So just do keep that in mind, the fact that it is going to be a cool day. You're going to want to drink plenty of fluids and have fun. I mean, it is the most incredible, awesome event. Every year when I come here, by the way, I've been doing this now, we're going on about 20 years, and they give me a very large check every year that I do this. And then, of course, I contribute the check back to the L Street running parking garage, which is being built, as you probably saw. We're now up to an astounding 26 cents, okay? So the building process is going along really, really well, and I want to thank you all. But every year I come here and I see you and I see the fresh faces, especially the ones who have never run it or the ones who have run it many times, I'm just reminded how wonderful an event it is and how exciting it is and how incredibly jealous I am of you doing it. Now, I wasn't jealous enough to start running in January, but I am very jealous of you right now. So I hope you all have a great run. Thank you very much. And of course, we'll be updating the forecast all weekend long, but that's where everything's based at right now. So have a great run. I am out of here.